So today I'm making a video about mental health, common questions I get asked, and common things people say to me that are frustrating and that I don't necessarily want to hear. Not all bad, some funny ones, some silly ones. So please watch if you know someone who's dealing with mental health, or you just want to know a bit more. But I hope people find this insightful. So the first thing is very commonly said to me is I get said, just don't think about it. If it was that easy, I would, but it's not. So when you tell me, don't think about it, I'm not just going to react like, oh, well, that's helped. Because obviously I haven't thought that myself. Really annoying, really common one that's been asked, so yeah. Another common question that people ask me is, are you hearing voices right now? Currently, no. When you ask me, no, I don't know. Like, it's a weird question. Like when you ask me something like that, it's like maybe, but if I am, I don't want to share it with you. So don't be inappropriate and ask a silly question like that, because I might just make something up and insult you because you've tried to offend me. It is offensive when you ask something like that. So you need to be considerate, because, again, I don't need to tell you everything, and if I do want to let you know, I will tell you. So be respectful. Three, and this one was said to me recently. I'm not going to name names. Um, Very funny question. It was, well, if you wanted to kill yourself, you would. And that one makes me laugh because I did try and I didn't. But I don't want to really kill myself. I was just that much in a low state where I thought there was only one option and that was it. And obviously, thank God, I haven't, thought of that again. But yeah, just someone to tell you that is quite frustrating, because they go, if you wanted to kill yourself, you would. So obviously, you saying you were suicidal and you didn't want to live is a load of rubbish, and it's not, because if anyone has been through that, does know it, you really do, and you do really consider it and also try to at some the worst scenario. So saying that to someone is pretty disrespectful. I mean, because it's like, if you broke your leg, it's like me going to saying, well, don't break your leg. If you didn't want to break your leg in the first place, you wouldn't have done it. Okay, that was a load. That doesn't make sense at all. Ignore what I said there. But you know what I mean. Don't ask me that stupid question. Don't say that to me. Don't say it like you're smart and like you've worked it all out, because you haven't. If you think that way, like, oh, if you wanted to kill yourself, you wouldn't. And if you think people that killed themselves are selfish, then, I mean, they're not. It Just put yourself in their shoes for a second and think. Imagine being that low and unhappy about life, or suffering that much you don't want to live anymore. I mean, put that in perspective. I don't think that person's selfish, and I'm not saying everyone around them is selfish. I'm just saying that we need to find. If you know that person is in that place, we need to help them as much as we can, and if not, we need to. There's signs that we can check, and that I think we need to really address suicide, because it is a very sensitive topic between some people, and just because someone doesn't look like they want to kill themselves doesn't mean they won't try or haven't tried, and we need to, if you do think someone's like that, you need to reach out to them and try to cheer them up and guide them as much as you can, and not discourage how they feel, and don't have a go at them for saying it, or telling them they're over exaggerating, or, oh, why are you lying for, you don't feel that way, something stupid. That's not you. And saying, oh, because you've had a better upbringing doesn't make it better. Oh, what have you got to be like all suicidal about? You're fine, your life's fine. You don't say that to someone. You don't know what journey they've taken. You haven't walked in their shoes. So I think in that circumstance, keep your opinion to yourself, because if you know you're going to upset someone, why would you say that in the first place? So I hear voices, hear sounds, hear different things, and the most common one I get asked is, what's it like hearing voices? Just like someone's talking to me, or people are talking to me, I hear sounds. It could be like someone clicking in my ear, or so I could hear tunes and or weird stuff. I mean, like, if you haven't heard voices, or you haven't had something like that, you can't really. It's hard to explain to someone, because it's a personal thing, and that can be quite horrible that someone goes through, and it's some not always negative, and sometimes positive. That is weird. Yeah, when you tell people you have positive thoughts, positive hearing things, saying it could be like, oh yeah, what a nice top you're wearing. I mean, that's not, I've never heard that, but it could be something like that, and it can be quite encouraging. But then obviously sometimes there's the negatives, and people really like to focus on the negatives, and they for some reason want to know what it's like. It's horrible most of the time. Yeah, it's just horrible, and wouldn't wish it on anyone really, because it's not a nice thing to go through, and people don't necessarily want to always talk about it, so don't feel like ask that question, because it's not always necessary. So yeah, be considerate of others. If you feel like you may want to know, but you can always Google it. Like, I know that's a common phrase, but Google it, because there's so much information out there, and if you really want to know, I'm sure you'll find a YouTube video or something like that. But it's not nice when you ask a question like that, because some people don't really want to talk about it, and if they do talk to you about it, it means they're opening up on a big level, so be considerate. Number 5 is it's okay. It's all in your head. Wow, thanks for that. You've cured me. I know now that everything's going to be okay because it's all in my head, and it's just me being stupid. No, that's a dumb question to ask me. Or tell me, sorry, not even tell me. It's just frustrating. Don't tell me. I know it's all in my head, but it doesn't feel like it. You don't wake up feeling like absolute crap, or when you have anxiety and you're too scared to go outside, or you don't want to go outside because you feel so down, or you don't want to do this. It's not, because it feels, it's almost a physical thing as well. And just tell me, oh, it's all in your head, mate. It'll be all right. Just get over yourself. I mean, it's kind of like, it makes me feel redundant, and you should be more politely. If someone comes up to you and says like, oh, I feel depressed, and I don't feel okay, or I have anxiety, don't just go, oh, for God's sake, it's all in your head, mate. Come on, just sort it out. That doesn't make people feel better. That actually just makes them dislike you a little bit more, or not really want to share with you, because they know you're just going to be negative about it. This one makes me laugh as well. Cheer up. Brilliant. Again, another one. You have literally just cured me. Thank you for that. I don't need any of the attention from the therapist or the doctors or any of the medication, because you've just told me to cheer up, and now I'm fixed. It's so brilliant. Again, another one that makes me laugh is very funny. Oh, I hear voices too. Do you though? Are you only saying it because you hear it? Some people, I'm sure, do. And that's not me knocking on people to say, oh, you hear voices. Okay, yeah, don't lie. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying people get confused with their conscience and actually hearing voices, or hearing sounds, or seeing things, because it's not the same. It really isn't the same. And if you speak to someone and they share how they feel, it's completely different to what is outside. You may hear negative voice because you're putting yourself down, and that's a different thing. But I'm not knocking that. But don't say, oh, I have it too, if you don't, because it is a different experience. And I think being like, I do. Trying to level with someone who does hear things. It can be a very horrible experience at the worst times, and even sometimes at the best of times. It's not nice. So saying, oh, I hear it too, it just kind of, again, frustrates people, and it doesn't. Sometimes it feels like you're not taking damn serious. As I know, I've spoken to people when I was at the mental health hospital that it was something they've heard a lot, and it frustrates them because they feel like people are just kind of brushing it aside. And I'm not saying that you're not taking it serious, but it's just you're making light of the situation. I guess can help some people, but it can be quite frustrating if you say something like that. 1. Oh, you went to a day hospital. Does that mean you're crazy? And if so, did you see any crazy people? Right, so I went to a day hospital in High Wycombe for mental health. They wanted to test me. They wanted to test me to see how I am and how I interact with people. And it was very helpful. I mean, I met a lot of very interesting people, and there's a very interesting bloke who was there. I'm not going to name his name, but he's just been going through a lot of things. He used to have depression, and he had schizophrenia, You have the funniest stories as well, just sharing like his like emotions and how he's gone about life, and it's very funny. But yeah, to say just because I've gone to a mental health hospital to get treatment, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm crazy, and it doesn't mean I've been sectioned, because there's loads of different things. Mental health is a crazy balance of things, and no, I'm not crazy. People probably think I am, but I'm not. I just went to a mental day hospital to help. It's like going physio to help your leg. You know, if you've broken your leg, again, I'm going to use this analogy and I'm going to get it right this time. So when you break your leg, you might need help building up strength or getting to walk again. So you go to physio to build the strength back up in your leg, and that's very similar to what a day hospital is. So, any time you put the word crazy in mental health, you're not going to help yourself. You're going to look like a bit of an idiot. So try not to say it. Now this one is my favourite. So a lot of the times when I was telling, oops, sorry, I've got to check my, I've got a notification on my tablet. So this one is a very interesting one. It's one of my favourites. So when I shared with people my experiences with mental health and what I've been through and what I've done, one of the things I was getting asked the most, and bearing in mind, Joker, the movie, if anyone's seen it, is about how the person became the Joker. And someone said to me, a few people actually said to me, actually, it's quite funny, a couple of my friends as well, but, you know, it's not their fault. They're just very, maybe uneducated about the situation. They said, oh, so you're like the Joker? No. One, I don't really like clowns. I'm not really bothered. Like, I don't wear makeup on my face either. Two, the Joker is an over-exaggeration of it. I'm not saying people aren't like him, but I am not crazy and I'm not like the Joker. Just because I'm on medication doesn't mean I'm a crazy person who wants to kill people, and I don't understand the grips of reality, because I really do. I'm quite in tune with reality, just because I'm being tested for loads of mental health issues, and I'm on tablets, and something's stuck on my teeth, and because I'm, been in mental health, doesn't necessarily mean I'm crazy or I'm like the Joker. It just means I need a bit of help, because I'm not well mentally. Next one is, I think I have something like that. Right. So, if you think you have something like me, that's cool. If you go to me, hey, I'd like to talk to you. I think I'm having very similar situations to what you're having. And that's fine. I completely will happily sit down and talk to anyone about mental health. They can pour their heart out to me. I'll happily listen. But don't turn around and go, oh, I sometimes feel bad. You know, we all have moments of being depressed, and not everyone is depressed. Not everyone has depression, sorry. But, people can be depressed, but not everyone has depression. And, as a natural human feeling is to feel sad sometimes, and it's good to feel sad. It makes you human, because, when you feel sad, you know what feeling happy is like. When you have anxiety, it's a normal thing. People get anxious. It's okay, but don't just assume, and don't self-diagnose yourself if you think you have a certain mental health issue, because it takes a long time to diagnose something and for a doctor to go down with it. So just assuming isn't a nice thing, because when you say that to someone, you're assuming that you have something that they have, and you don't. For me personally, it comes across as a bit rude, because it's something that people happily throw around these days. Oh, I'm depressed, or I have anxiety, and they don't. And I think if you feel like that way, then definitely go to the doctors. But if not, and it's a little thing, and you're upset because your car isn't starting, because that's a normal thing. People can get upset about that, so don't assume you're depressed. But because a lot of people will look online and see, oh, I've got this, and this, but you're missing out a lot of key factors in the rest of the diagnosis stage. So just don't assume, because some people can get a bit offended about it. The next one is, have the voices said anything about me? 1, why do you need to know? 2, don't ask that. And 3, literally, it's quite a frustrating question to be asked, because most of the time people, all they want to know is it's about them, and it's not always about you. If someone's sharing, listen. Don't make it about you. Because 9 times out of 10, yes, a lot of the people around me, I've heard things I've been said about them, but I don't want to talk about it because some of it's quite rude and offensive, and it's not something I want to share. So, like, be considerate when asking that, please. Now, the next one, again, something I've heard a lot. This one is a bit frustrating. Do you see things? Sometimes. Not all the times. Again, don't ask me. You don't need to know. I consider it a bit rude to get real personal, because it is something that takes a lot of heart to share. So when you ask people personal questions they may not have told you, it's rude. It is rude. Like I said, listen. Because, people don't want to always share certain things. They like to keep certain things to themselves because it's deep and they're necessarily not ready for it yet. So try and understand and listen, and not think about, oh, I want to know this, I need to know that. Again, Google it if you really need to know, or read a book. I'm reading this book here. Let me get it for you 1 second. Yes. How psychology works. So I'm learning a bit more about different disorders, different thing about psychology, so I can have a better understanding about it. Maybe some people should too. Another one. Oh, you're on medication. Oh, that must make you really dopey. No. I mean, I've not really had that too bad with my medication. I mean, there's been moments where when I was getting used to it, it was a bit different, because I've never been on mental health. I've never dealt with that type of medication before, so when people like assume that they know everything about it, they don't. People who have been on it may agree that some tablets have helped them and some haven't, so be considerate, because people go through different things and different experiences. So assuming just because you've seen something in a movie, or you've seen that one person know's had this medication and they're like this, doesn't necessarily mean I am or someone else is, because it works differently for other people. So yeah, just appreciate that everyone's different, and don't just assume just because you think you know something about it doesn't mean you're an expert in it. So understand it in that sense. I have left this one. Sorry, I really need to work on that. I have left this one to the last, because I think this one out of all, it gets me. So a few times, not many, only a couple of times, I've been asked, have you tried to kill yourself? One, you don't need to know that. Like, it is quite rude to ask someone if they've killed themselves. Or, sorry, not killed themselves. To try and kill themselves, because they're going through something really difficult, difficult mentally, and for you to come out and say, did you kill yourself? Or, again, I've done it again. Have you tried to kill yourself? Can come across very, very annoying, and that's something that has annoyed me a few times. It's like, you don't need to know that. Okay, that's a personal thing. Alright? Having that, my therapist will ask me, a doctor will ask me, because they need to know. You don't need to know. So don't ask me a question like that, because it will piss me off. And I may, respond back in a very rude manner. And as people know me, I can be quite snappy, but I'm trying to learn to be polite. It's part of something I need to better myself in. So don't ask me if I've tried to kill myself, because you're not going to get a nice response back. So I'm just going to leave it at this point. At the end of the video, I'd like to appreciate if you've watched this, and I hope this helps if you are going to have a conversation with someone about mental health. Don't ask those questions or say those things, because people don't want to be made feel different. They want you to understand them and consider their feelings when with certain things they say, because what you say and how you react can play a big part in how they feel. So be respectful. Listen is one of the most important things. Really listen. Don't just talk. Let them do the talking and you do the listening.
If they say to you, would you like to ask any questions? Be polite about it, but don't just assume things and make it about yourself, because sometimes people with mental health, they need to vent about how they feel and how things are for them, and not to in a selfish way, but sometimes you just need to pour your heart out. And it's amazing when people listen, because that's how we can, help with just listening, and then guiding people on the right paths to do the right things, and take the right steps to get better. Because at the end of the day, that's what we want for the people we care about, is to get better and not be stuck in a loop. Or, God forbid, they kill themselves, because we want to spend time with the people we care about. And listening is so key to all of this. Like, it is crazy if people just listen. And I'm not saying people don't listen, but let's not make it about ourselves. Let's make it about that person, and let's help them. So yeah, I hope you found this video insightful, and it's helped people with certain things they don't know how to ask, or they're not sure what to say. Please leave a comment below if there's any questions you'd like to ask me. I really appreciated the feedback for my mental health story. I got a lot of positive, energy back from that, and a lot of people have messaged me to share how they feel and how it's affected them, which is really nice to know that people can be open with me and share it, and to know I've helped a few people already, because a couple of people have actually messaged me saying that's really helped me in a positive way. So I appreciate those people too. I did get some negative feedback, but I don't want to talk about that. But yeah, I've taken that well on the chin, better than I thought I would. So yeah, appreciate everyone for watching the videos, liking them, subscribing. I'm gonna make some more content. I will make some more mental health related videos, but until then, until you see them, yeah. So give me some ideas of what you'd like to hear about, guys, because I'm quite open to different stuff about mental health, and I really want to be a voice for mental health to help people and help people get better. So yeah, watch the space.